Hello everyone, a very good evening. Welcome to Oliveboard. This is the CAIIB Foundation July 2025 series, and in this series we are covering all the units module wise from the BRBL paper. And today we are going to study the module C Unit 22, the Consumer Protection Act. All the previous units have already been covered, and the videos are there on the YouTube channel. If you haven't yet seen them, make sure you watch them. They're very important for your exam preparation. Now, let us start with the Consumer Protection Act. So, this Act of 2019 was enacted on August 9th, 2019, and it aims to provide for protection of the interests of the consumers and for the said purpose to establish the authorities for timely and effective administration. Now, in this definition or explanation, we can see three important terms. First, consumers. Consumers are those entities who are purchasing any goods or services. This act applies to both goods and services, and they are purchasing them for final consumption. So, any entity who tries to sell these goods off or they try to trade in these goods in the future, they won't be considered as consumers. Then we have stated that there are certain authorities. So we have the Consumer Protection Councils, the Consumer Dispute Resolutions, Redressal Councils, then the Consumer Protection Authority at the central level. All of these authorities are set up. And consumer disputes means whenever the seller, the manufacturer, they provide a good or a services that is of a faulty nature or it is hazardous to the health of the consumer and they knowingly do so, then the consumers can seek redressal from these authorities. All right. So the act came into force from July 20th, 2020, and certain other procedures like setting up of the CCPA came into effect from July 24th, 2020. So now the important definitions, provisions, all of these things we are going to see. Foremost, we have the definition of a consumer who buys any goods for consideration, means they are in return paying for it, right? And but it does not include a person who obtains such goods for resale or for any commercial purpose. Similarly, if the person hires or avails any service for the payment has been made or it will be made in the future as per the contract, again it does not include a person who avails such service for a commercial purpose. Now, another very important point, let's say the good that has been purchased by the entity, they are using it to earn income. It is their source of income. For example, a sewing machine that is purchased by a tailor. A sewing machine purchased by a tailor. Another incidence where a sewing machine is purchased by a retailer from the manufacturer. So in this case, this retailer will not be considered a consumer, but because the tailor is using the sewing machine to sew clothes, then they will be considered as a consumer and they can also apply for any complaints if faced. All right. Then if we talk about the rights that the consumers have, the rights that are secured, the right to be protected against the marketing of goods, products or services which are hazardous to life. For this very reason, all the products, the consumption goods, they have to mention the ingredients at the back of the packet. Also, if it is hazardous or if it contains anything that can cause allergy or irritation, for example, to the skin or to the eyes, everything has to be mentioned. Then the right to be informed about the quality, quantity, potency, purity, standard, and the price of the goods. Again, the consumer has protection against the unfair trade practices. The manufacturers, the companies, they cannot put an image on the package which is completely different from the actual product. The product images should match with the product inside. Then the price of the goods which is stated will be the price at which the product is sold. Higher than that cannot be charged. All of these will otherwise come under the unfair trade practices. They also have the right to be assured the access of a variety of goods, product or services. They have the right to be heard, that the consumer's interests will receive due consideration. They also have the right to seek redressal against the unfair trade practice. For example, if a retailer is selling the good at a higher price than what is mentioned, then the consumer can raise a complaint. Or if they are charged for a service which otherwise was free of charge, then also they can make a complaint. And they have the right to consumer awareness, which means the advertisements or any newspaper article, they should contain the correct information regarding the product or the service. Now, when we talk about a defect and a deficiency, defect means a fault, imperfection or shortcoming in the quality, quantity, potency or any other standard in the good or the product, right? Which is to be required to be maintained by or under the law. Deficiency is when we talk about the fault, imperfection in terms of a service. In terms of a service. So, if the law requires the manufacturer, the retailer, or any service provider to provide certain quality of the services or the products, and if it is not followed, then the consumer can file a dispute or a complaint, right? So deficiency, we have seen any act of negligence or omission or commission by such person which causes loss or injury to the consumer, or they are deliberately withholding any relevant information, right? Then we have various regulators and authorities and so on. So the various authorities which are set up for the protection of the consumer against the unfair contract and the unfair trade practices, like the falsely representing that the goods are of a particular standard or that the services are of a particular quality or grade, falsely representing any rebuilt or second hand good as new goods, or represent that the goods or services have sponsorship or approval. Let's say any particular beauty product is sold in the market stating that it is doctor approved when it is actually not, right? Making a false or misleading representation. All right. So all of these will be treated as the unfair trade practices. Now, to protect the rights of the consumers, the consumer protection councils are set up at the central, state, and the district level. The central, state, and district level have their own jurisdiction, right? So, the jurisdiction of the district commission, state commission, national commission is also given. First, we will see the Central Consumer Protection Authority. Central Consumer Protection Authority, which shall consist of a chief commissioner and any other members, other commissioners, which will be appointed by the central government. It will also have the investigation wing. So the central authority is going to protect, promote, and enforce the rights of the consumers. They're also going to take steps to prevent the unfair trade practices. They're going to ensure that no false or misleading advertisement is made of a good or a service which actually contravenes the provisions. And no person takes part in the publication of an advertisement which is false or misleading. So they are going to issue directions to the concerned trader, manufacturer, endorser, or advertiser to either discontinue a false or misleading advertisement. They're going to issue the safety notices to the consumers against the unsafe goods and services, impose the penalties if the cases are proven, and investigate the violations of consumer rights. They're going to pass orders to recall the goods or withdraw the services that are hazardous. Also, they're going to reimburse the price which is paid and discontinue the unfair trade practices, right? So all of these are the rights to the consumers: the right to seek justice in a time-bound manner, right to seek redressal against the unfair or restrictive trade practices, all the rights that we have already discussed. Then, like I said, we have the consumer protection councils at the district, state, and central level. The members are given as well as the meetings. So, the district council chairperson, other members prescribed by the state government, and they should meet not less than 2 times in a year. The state council, again, the chairperson, members which are prescribed by the state government, and 10 members will be nominated by the central government, meeting at least two in a year. And the central council will have members, chairperson, vice chairpersons, and other members, and they should meet at least once in a year. So, at all the three levels, they shall meet as and when necessary, and they are going to observe the procedure with regard to the transactions of the business as may be prescribed. Then we have already seen the Central Consumer Protection Authority. Then we also have the district, state, and national Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission. Dispute Redressal Commission. So they are going to see the complaints which are heard subject to the terms and conditions brought out in the Act. Now there are certain jurisdictions which have been decided, and these jurisdictions have also been revised. So the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, under the Department of Consumer Affairs, they have given out a notification on 30th December 2021, which has revised the jurisdiction of the district, state, and national commission. So the complaints of disputes which are going to be heard by the district commission, where the value of the goods or services paid as consideration does not exceed 50 lakh rupees. The state commission will hear the disputes where the value of the goods and services does not exceed 2 crore rupees, that is between 50 lakh and 2 crore. And the National Commission is going to hear the disputes where the value of the goods and services exceeds rupees 2 crore. So this is a very important amendment that has been made, a revision that has been made, and you should remember it because many times the institution has asked us questions. Also, there is the consumer mediation cell, which is going to undertake the mediation. So it is going to have a list of impaneled mediators, a list of the cases handled by the cell, the record of the proceedings, and any other information. And that is all. This is the main summary of the Consumer Protection Act. I hope everything was clear. If you have any doubts or queries, you can ask me in the comment section. Also, you can join the CAIIB Super Elite all-in-one plan, where you will get this chapter and all the others. Also, all the papers will be covered here. So you'll get live classes, mock tests, as well as the exam specific notes. And if you enroll today, you can use the super selection sale, under which the code super will give you flat 50% off on your subscription. And this ends tonight, so make sure that you join the course today itself and start your preparation. Thank you so much for attending. I will see you again with the next chapter. If you have any doubts, any queries, you can let me know. You can also download the PDF. The link is there in the description box. Thank you and all the best.